Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Disney Co. in the Know podcast. Welcome back for those who have listened or watched us before. This is episode 16, and tonight we are talking about Walt Disney World reopening, latest updates. We're talking about the NBA coming to ESPN's Wide World of Sports and the Disney Complex. We're talking about the latest Shop Disney merchandise for Pride Month and more. So I am Bruce Beal, and I will be your host. And tonight I am joined by our special guest, Disney Co. in the Know contributor, Lydia. Lydia, welcome back to the show.
Hey guys, hey Bruce.
Thanks for joining us tonight.
Yeah.
Before we get started, I want to say that this podcast and show is sponsored by 407 and Beyond Vacation Company, Disney and Universal experts who help plan your family's perfect vacation. So all you have to do is show up, have fun, and create family memories. As always, our services are free to you. Visit us on the web at www.407vacations.com. And to stay up to date with all the Disney and Universal news, you can visit us on our blog page, which has news sections and contributor articles at www.4smvacations.com/in-the-know. So Lydia, now that is all out of the way, and those photos I just put up here on the video covered our faces like Mike Wazowski on the laugh floor. We can go ahead and get started with this week's news, which is what the listeners and viewers really want. Anyways, they don't want us messing around. So let's start off with full disclosure, I own 407 and Beyond Vacation Company, and the reason why I say that is because we've been getting a lot of questions on park reopening news. So Disney announced last week that their plans were to open up in July, and then it seems like every day more news breaks from Disney. Like, yes, we're opening, but this, or however, or in addition to. So they're always breaking different news each day, and so we're going to go over some of the park reopening news today, and then sometime this weekend on our Facebook page, I'll make a post, but I want to go out on Facebook Live and answer questions that clients or anybody following us on Facebook can ask. So, because I know there's a lot of information out there. So Lydia, let's talk.
Yeah.
So the parks,
it definitely gets like a little. Oh, go ahead.
No, please go ahead.
Oh, did you hear me? Oh no, I was just saying it gets a little confusing. Like I'm even reading this stuff, and like you're keeping me up to date on everything, and I'm reading the blog, but it's still like, my gosh, there's so much information.
And Disney will notify travel agents or put it up on their sites like, hey, here's the latest on how the parks are going to reopen, and then you wake up and you check it again, and it's slightly different. So
right, and they're like, JK, everything's changed.
Right, yeah, exactly. So what we know as of right now is that Magic Kingdom and Animal Kingdom are slated to open up on July 11th, followed by Disney's Epcot and Hollywood Studios on July 15th. Now, even though the parks are reopening, Universal just opened up earlier this week, and we're able to see all the measures that they're taking. Now, it looks like everything is going pretty smooth over there at Universal. We know that at Disney parks, things are going to be limited. So Lydia, we know that there's going to be no fireworks or parades, which for a lot of people, that's a majority of the attractions and things that they want to do in the parks.
Right.
So
I mean, that's like a great time where like families can pause from like standing in queues and like, kind of just relax and sit down and, enjoy a nice show. So I think some people are definitely going to be upset about it. And it's not like a deal, like a break. It's not like it's going to not want me to go to the park. You know what I mean? Like I'm still going to go even if they don't have the fireworks and parades. So, but I totally get why people would be like, no.
Right. Yeah, and we did lose it for just a second, but what you're saying is it's not a deal breaker that there's no parades or fireworks, but I mean that is part of the Disney magic. But it makes sense why things with large congregations of people can't go on because of physical distancing guidelines. But in addition to that, any close interaction with characters will also be temporarily suspended. Um, things like Bippity Boppity Boutique, playgrounds, character meet and greets, all going to be temporarily suspended. So you are,
But I did hear that like characters will still be walking around. Is
yeah,
that correct?
yes. So
Okay.
characters will be walking around. You can take photos. So over at Universal, the way that they're doing it is that you can take like selfies from a safe distance away or
That's
ussies.
cool.
Yeah. So you can't get your picture taken with characters, but they can be in your background as you work
Oh,
the
that's
camera.
fun.
So one question that we're getting a lot of on social media and by clients is this announcement of park reservation system. So the park reservation system was announced that guests to get into the parks in July not only need a valid theme park ticket, but they're going to have to make a reservation for a park one day, and that's going to help limit the capacity of guests inside the park. And so um, people are a little bit nervous because you can't just wake up and go to the park of your choosing. You got to make a reservation, and so we're getting a lot of questions like, "Hey, I want to make my reservations, but the system on the My Disney Experience app is not up yet, and we don't actually have any
Yeah.
guidance on it yet." So
It's
a
pretty
little
crazy.
difficult.
Like I hope they at least like say something by next week because that would be like a month out, you know. So if they say something by like June 11th, I think that, but they need to say something too soon. I think it's causing like a lot of anxiety for people, especially people who like to have their trip completely planned out. Um,
Yeah,
so
you're
yeah.
absolutely right. And Disney is one of those vacations that people have it planned out, down to the minute, to the attraction. And so
And you know
people,
who can do that really well is
who's
Bruce
that?
can at 407 and
I
Beyond. He's so
appreciate that
good.
plug. Yeah, thank you. Yes,
You're
visit us on the
welcome.
web at www.407vacations.com. But yes, thank you. But yeah, too funny. So one thing also to keep in mind is that Disney is not selling new ticket sales. So you cannot purchase a ticket now. The only people who will be in the parks or at the resorts starting in July are people with tickets already. So no new ticket sales and no new reservations at the resorts. So Disney announced that they're doing this to concentrate on the folks who have reservations, and my guess is this is just another measure to limit that capacity.
Right. And I
Because
think it's a smart choice. I'm sure like people like myself, I'm like, oh man, I can't go like July 11th because I'm not an annual pass holder, nor did I have a trip scheduled. But it totally makes sense. And I think it would just be completely overwhelming if they're like, come one, come all, like come
yeah,
July 11th. There's just no way they would be able to maintain that physical distancing and like all the COVID outlines. It would just be chaos, I think.
I agree, and I particularly think it would be difficult for this new reservation system if it was just front
Hmm.
loaded with people coming down trying to snag reservations. So definitely it does make sense, but people do need to know that you cannot make a reservation and you cannot purchase tickets right now. So do we have a date when you can make a reservation? No, we don't. This is temporarily suspended until further notice. So. Um,
We are definitely learning how to deal with the unknown right now during all
right.
this time.
Yeah.
I think like the type A people are gonna have to kind of like take a breath and be like, okay, it's just a waiting game. I just gotta wait it out.
Yes,
So,
it's tough. And I will say, as a
hmm
travel agent, we cannot, and I don't mean we, but Disney is not allowing for modifications yet of existing trips. So if you have a trip, your options pretty much are to hang on tight and wait or to cancel outright. And the latest I heard from Disney was that they are giving back full refunds. I've heard mixed responses whether or not how far into your vacation you can get that full refund. So what I was told the last time I was on the phone with them was that you could get a full refund up to 30 days before your trip. But I would think that if your trip is in July, that you should get your full refund. So
And Bruce, I read something about like this December 15th deadline. So like if you don't go by December 15th, or is that the where they're giving like a voucher or a refund for that?
Yeah, exactly. So if you have tickets and either the parks have been closed in May, June, and the beginning of July, or you want to postpone, you can do so all the way until December, or you can get a refund back on your ticket. So
Okay.
those are multi-day tickets that have not been used, or tickets for specific days that have not been used.
Got it.
So yeah, you
Okay.
can either just kick those and try to use them later on in 2020, or get a refund. So, I'm not into speculating much, but I would say that a lot of the measures that we see coming out of Disney this summer, we're probably going to see well into the fall. I think
Yeah.
the theme park experience is just going to be different for the foreseeable future. So if
Yeah.
you have a vacation that you are looking to modify or cancel and rebook your trip, we have had clients rebook for 2021 for sure.
Yeah.
So anyway, so a couple of other cancellations or temporary suspensions. Dining reservations and dining packages have been canceled, and that's to help with the capacity.
Yeah, that was a shocker. Like because they were like free meal plans if you
Yes.
like book now, and then they're like, just kidding. Like we're
Yeah,
getting rid of everything. I was like, oh no.
I know.
So
So
that's pretty stressful. But I mean, again, it makes sense, I guess, in terms of keeping that capacity down and making sure everyone's safe.
right, and Disney is in a spot like their operations are so much bigger than the other parks in Orlando, and so they're kind of in that tough
Hmm.
spot. But so yeah, everything that they're doing makes sense, and we want them to open up in a safe manner. But all dining reservations and plans have been canceled. So if you were somebody who had the recovery package of free dining for rescheduling your vacation, that's been taken away. But
Yeah.
to help with that, Disney is adding a 35% discount to your room reservation. So I do know that they are doing that in the order in which your vacation is. And so if your vacation is in the fall, you're probably not going to see that discount taken off of your reservation for at least a couple more weeks because they're trying to hit everybody in July and August right now. So,
Okay. So
um,
don't freak out. You'll get your discount.
yes, don't freak out. Although it's hard to. I mean, I get it. You
Right.
you
It
spend
is.
all
Yeah.
that money on a vacation. You spend your
Hmm.
time. Hopefully, you work with a travel agent like us, and you plan it out with your travel agent. And then not only is it canceled or postponed, but then things
Right.
change. So it is
And
a
that's why like
frustrating.
using your service is so nice because I couldn't like imagine navigating this right now by myself, especially like with kids and having to like, okay, do I update my kids about this? Like, what do I do? It's just nice to like say to someone else, like, okay, here's what I want to do. You handle it, and I'm gonna go work and like teach my kids from home.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? So that's why like I would definitely take advantage of Bruce's service, guys. Man, so
Well,
many plugs
thanks.
for you
I know,
today.
I know. I feel like we got to get off of this because this show is not just about plugs, but with all of the news coming from Disney Parks
Right.
and Resorts, it feels natural. But let's make a pledge. That was the last plug of the day.
Last
So
plug, guys. We promise.
uh, a couple more temporary suspensions. Fast Pass Plus. Excuse me. Say that 3 times fast. Um, it will be temporarily suspended. So there will be no fast passes. They will be starting to use virtual queues and then space people out in
Hmm.
queues and then extra
And I
mat.
could see. Oh, sorry. I was just gonna say, like, I could see people getting like really upset about this, especially with, like some of the new like rides and attractions at Star Wars or Pandora. But honestly, I think with the lower capacity and people being more dispersed throughout the parks, I don't think they're going to be very long queues anyway, which is
Yeah.
at least that's what I'm predicting, and I'm sure that's why they completely like nixed the whole fast pass thing right now.
Yeah,
So,
and they don't know who's going to have a park reservation for which park on which
right.
day. So it's almost just
Hmm.
like, okay, clear the slate. We got to start over.
Right.
So it makes sense. And extra magic hours have been temporarily suspended as well, as park hours have been modified. So a few things to conclude this news story, because this is just a downer of a story. We got to get to something much more upbeat
I know.
very quickly. Face coverings will be required for guests 2 years of age and older. It used to
Oh,
be
so they
three.
changed it.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
one of those changes. It went from 3 years old to 2 years old. I don't know what that's going to be like keeping a 2 year old in a mask.
I can't imagine.
So,
Like they can barely
um,
talk.
yeah,
How do you expect them to wear a mask?
yeah. I mean that's going to
Yeah.
that could be tough. So cast members and guests will have their temperatures taken from everything that's coming out of Universal. That's going to be a slow process at the park gates, but it is effective and it has been working. So, so what we've learned from Universal is positive, and they're going to try physical distancing in the parks. So. To check out more on this, visit the blog page and our articles. We have quite a few articles on this topic on our blog at forestandvacations.com/in the know. And check out Facebook for a Facebook Live event where we can talk all about the park reopening. So, because we're having a Facebook Live event, let's go ahead and cut to a story that is much more
Yeah. Much
upbeat. So,
upbeat.
yeah.
100%.
So, Lydia, let's talk about the merchandise coming from Shop Disney for Pride Month. So you had taken a
Yeah.
good look at that. So what can people look forward to with this?
Well, once again, Disney dropped their, Pride merchandise to celebrate Pride Month, which is June, and to remember the Stonewall incident in 1969. So it's, they have some really cute stuff again this year. Some similar themes. They have like the Mickey heart hands again with the rainbow inside. They have some great pins
Mm-hmm.
that have, the little rainbow Mickey hats. As Bruce called it earlier, the body bag, but I
Yes.
corrected him. It's a belt bag.
Let me pull this up real quick. Yeah. So it's called a belt bag. Is that right, Lydia?
Yeah, not
Yeah.
a body bag.
I had this labeled as body bag. This is not a body bag.
Yeah, not a body bag.
But it does
But it's
look.
really cute. You can see some like Magic Kingdom,
Yeah.
icons like the parks in there and some of the like food, and it's really cute, and it has that like ombre rainbow effect, which is always fun. And then there's the Rainbow Disney Collection like Mickey Mouse shirt where it has like Mickey, 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 Mickey all in like, the
Yeah.
Roy G. Biv colors.
That's a good one.
So yeah, that one's good. And the thing I love about their Pride line, which is always, it's always great every year, but it's true to word in being that it's 100% unisex. So anyone can take this. Any gender would feel absolutely comfortable in any of this merchandise, which I think is really important because it just shows that, Disney is like also aware of like, hey guys, we understand that there might not be two genders and we totally get it and we respect that and approve that and we want to celebrate that. So that's really cool. That they're being, aware of that as well. They're not being like, look, we have like a, and of course there are some like more feminine like things, but I don't think
Yeah.
that means that anyone, I think anyone can wear
I
any
think
of
so.
this stuff, which is really
Yeah,
fun.
I think you're right. I'll pull up. There are a few more female cut tank tops.
Yeah.
I'll pull that one up. It's that Mickey in rainbow colors, and then there is a uh, Lydia. I think it's sequined tank. That's how you say it,
Yes,
right?
the
Sequin.
sequin tank.
I realize this is the
And
first
it's
time
like
I've ever had to spell sequins. So
I'm like, I don't know how many times I have spelled sequin. That's how much I've spelled that before. Yeah, I mean that's like a female cut, but again, I think like, anyone could wear it. I mean,
yeah.
it's a super cute tank top, and yeah, I wonder if it's that like sequin that like you
Oh
touch and it
well.
like changes. I know
I
that
don't know.
wasn't for a long time, but I don't think it says anything like that on
Yeah, it
there.
doesn't
But
look like it's one of those, but that is a cool one. Let's talk about what I thought was pretty cool is these sunglasses. So I'll pull those up here.
yeah,
I thought those were pretty cool.
yeah, these are pretty cool. I really like the ombre. They're not like in your face, like um Like,
Lid,
I don't know.
on the video, the photo, the sunglasses is literally on your face. So that was
How do
really
I look?
funny when
Am
you're
I
like, oh,
modeling them well?
right. Yes,
They're not.
exactly. Yes. Look to your left a little bit. Yes, there you go. They are
Does that look
on.
good?
Perfect.
Does that
Yeah.
look good? Yeah, I really like them. Like they're not, they're not like the big like. Sometimes when you see like the Pride festivals, which are super awesome, they have like very extravagant like headgear and everything, and that's like super great. But these are great to just wear like in the park.
Yeah.
You can wear them in the sunny Florida sun, and they have like it's a kind of like a Ray-Ban, modern look, and it has the cute little Mickeys in the corner. So I would definitely wear those. I mean, those are too cute. So
Yeah.
on the website, they look like a clearer, like a softer lens, not like a super dark lens. Maybe
Right.
that's just the photo though. So
And I like that they kept it clear on the front. There's
I like
something
that.
really cool about that. So
And that's like a really cool new trend within the past few years, like having those clear glasses. I think they look good on everyone because they look super fresh and cool, but you can also like they don't take away from your face, which I
yes.
like. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I've often been told that I'm super fresh. So no, that's false. Speaking of headgear, speaking of headgear, here are the Minnie Mouse ears that are black ears with the rainbow bow. Excuse me. So yeah, I think
These
those
are
those
just
are cool
so
too.
cute. They're so timeless. I mean, you just can't go wrong with like just doing a classic, black Mickey ears with, and then slap on that mini bow. I mean, it's just so cute.
Right.
And like the good thing about this stuff is, you can wear it and buy it to celebrate Pride Month in June. But people wear this stuff all year long, so
Yeah.
don't feel like it's not like a Christmas, you know, Minnie Mouse ears
Hey,
where
my
people
Christmas
might,
decorations are still up. I don't know. Yeah.
like you can wear this any time of the year to show, your spirit and, so I really like also that about all the Pride merchandise that it's totally year round.
That's true. Yeah,
Hmm.
that's certainly true. So this is definitely a good segment for our audio only listeners on iTunes because they're missing out on all these photos. So if you are listening to iTunes and you want to see this merchandise, watch the YouTube version of the podcast where we have the photos up, or check out the article on the blog site because they're all listed there with the pricing. So yeah, so Lid, anything that you want to add about the Pride merch? Is there anything we missed?
No, I think that's good. I think, I think it's gonna sell like hotcakes. I mean, I think it always does, and I'm totally gonna buy something out of this. So, yeah. Plus, June's my birthday month, and Bruce's.
Ah, that's true. That's
So,
true.
yeah, maybe someone can get us some stuff for our
Oh,
birthday.
hey, I'll take those sunglasses. Okay,
Yeah.
I will take the sunglasses. All right, let's talk about the NBA coming to ESPN's Wide World of Sports. So this is a story that's been breaking this week. In fact,
Hmm.
news was just being released earlier today before we came on the show. And so NBA has come to terms with Disney to play the remainder of the season, which is an extended playoffs at ESPN's Wide World of Sports complex, which has the capacity to host these playoff games. So, you know, this the NBA coming to ESPN's Wide World of Sports is not necessarily the breaking news, but it's that they finished the deal. But how this
Yeah.
could affect the guest impact at Disney during this time. So I do know that the players and teams and families and the games are to arrive or start at Disney at the end of July,
Hmm.
um, which is, the parks are reopening. And so I think there are some questions on how the NBA finishing up could affect any guest experience. So, Led, what have you heard about where the players and teams might stay on property?
So, from what it sounds like, I literally read where they're keeping them like in a bubble. Like that's what
Yeah,
they keep saying. They're keeping them in a bubble. They have a 200-acre sports complex within the resort, so it's not going to be like they're in the Magic Kingdom.
right.
That's not going to happen. Yeah, I don't think it's going to be like a problem. I mean, they said like the NBA players are going to show up. They're going to like hang out there and they're not, honestly, they said like there's not a lot of like, they can't like leave a lot, they can't like, they're literally going to stay there. So it kind of sounds like they're almost at like a camp where
Right.
they're like, hey guys, you got to stay here until your team is done. So
So
I think it won't like, there won't be a lot of like traveling, if that's what people are worried about, with like people coming in and out and going and places. Like I
right.
don't think that's like anything that people have to worry about.
So the latest I've heard is that players, teams, and family members will be staying at Disney's Coronado Resort, Coronado
Okay.
Springs. And so if that is the case, then will guests who have reservations at Coronado be displaced and
Oh
taken to
yeah.
another resort? Now, the nice thing about and here's a photo of Coronado Springs for our viewers. And that's the new Grand Destino
And
Tower, which
that
is
hotel
absolutely
is,
beautiful.
and that hotel is big.
It is, and it's a convention center hotel,
Yeah.
so it makes a lot of sense. And since there's limited capacity levels at the resorts now, I think Disney could very well take the guests at Coronado Springs and move them to
Hmm.
another mod or even a deluxe resort. Um,
Right.
so
Or
so
they
it makes
also
sense.
might find that there's enough space. Like they could keep all the NBA
Yes,
families like in one quadrant, keep the park goers in the other quadrant. It's a really big hotel. I remember
it
one
is.
time we stayed there, we stayed in the very back and it was like a
Yeah,
20-minute walk.
it is.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't think people have to worry about that, but it will be interesting to see if those Coronado guests will be, impacted by this.
Yeah,
So,
and I did to your point. I do know that the NBA and Disney is a little concerned though with guests trying to see their favorite players or go take photos, and so
mhm.
it's potential that wherever they do stay, that it will be kind of just locked down. So
Right, and that's, like, what I was seeing, like, with the whole bubble thing. They're like,
yeah,
they're literally gonna be like, "Okay, you're coming in here, you're playing basketball, and then you're leaving." Like,
right.
it doesn't seem like the players will be allowed to, like, even venture into the parks
Yeah,
or anything like that.
right, and Kevin Smith, NBA, on Twitter was saying that. Um, let me just read his direct tweets here. So, per Walt Disney World sources, Disney and the NBA have agreed that Disney's Coronado Springs Resort is likely to be the primary host for the NBA when they resume the season. He went further on to say that Coronado Springs offers the best package of rooms, resources, and proximity to ESPN Wide World of Sports complex, and that two other locations that were up for consideration is Disney's Animal Kingdom Lodge and the
Hmm.
Four Seasons Resort at Orlando.
Which are also really big hotels.
And the one plus side, yes, the one plus side of the Four Seasons was that it is gated, ultra exclusive area near the complex. So if we don't see the NBA players and teams returning to Coronado Springs Resort, I think that it'll be between Animal Kingdom Lodge and the Four Seasons.
Mhm.
Interesting. I've also heard, and I don't have this on good authority or anything, that the MLS is looking to play some games at the complex as well. So if Major League Soccer and NBA is there at the same time,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know, but
Yeah.
so
Well,
anyways,
I was also trying to look, like, if players were, like, worried about their health, like, getting back, on the court and playing. I couldn't really find anything. It seemed like a lot of, like, the players and the teams, the majority of, the people, um, they seem like they're ready to get back on the court and finish the season out. So I
yeah,
know that's good to hear that there's no like major like I don't want to play. I'm worried about my health. That people feel that the higher ups will make sure that this is safe for everyone involved.
yeah, yeah, I think you're right. So yeah, Lyd, anything you want to add to the NBA breaking news coming to Disney?
Well, I'm not a huge basketball person, so
What?
I don't know if you you mentioned this, but they won't have spectators, will they?
No,
Have
no,
they even?
not
Okay,
that I'm
yeah, they
aware
won't.
of. I don't think that that's
Yeah,
planning on changing it either.
I just don't think, yeah, that would be even possible, or like that they would have time to figure out those logistics.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, I don't.
well, at
I don't
least
think
it'll
so
be on
either.
TV. So
Yeah,
that's
we'll
good.
have sports again on TV,
Mhm.
and I think this is a good deal for both ESPN and Disney. Now, just a reminder, Disney owns ABC and ESPN, but I think this is good for them for lost revenue for the
Right.
NBA and for Disney. So this seems to work out well. And while the parks and resorts have limited capacity, this just kind of makes sense. So.
Right.
And if they get to
Mhm.
stay at Grandestino Tower, now I'm sure those players have stayed at nicer places, but that is a nice resort, so good for them. So
Yeah,
we
that's
love that
exciting.
new tower over at Coronado Springs. So
Mhm.
The only other thing that I wanted to discuss today was about Disneyland, and so I'm not sure if you had seen or heard, but Disneyland still has not yet announced an opening date for the parks. I think that they
Yeah.
are moving into the next phase of reopenings out in Orange County and LA, but no real announcement from Disneyland on when they are going to reopen the parks. But if you go onto Disneyland's website, which I have my Disneyland mug with me, I do this
Nice.
every show because I try to get on no matter where I'm at. I could be in an
Bruce
airport in.
bought 13 mugs on one trip. Is that right,
Yes,
Bruce?
yes. That's. I'm a big coffee drinker. I love Joffrey's coffee, and they just came out with a subscription too. We'll have to put that on the blog, but yeah, big.
You could probably have a themed mug for every episode.
I should try. Yeah. One thing about
Yeah.
Disney mugs is they're always so big. They're like soup
Yeah,
bowls.
that's
So
nice.
the one thing I hate to conform, but I love Starbucks uh, series mugs.
Mhm.
So
They're cute and they're
yeah.
fun to like because they're not just at Disney, but like I when we went to London and Paris, they're like in those cities too. So it's fun to travel abroad and go
Yes.
to other places and like try to find the Starbucks mug. So yeah,
Yes.
I think they're cute.
Lydia, when we were in Paris, I got the "You Are Here" mug at a small Starbucks at, now forgive the pronunciation here, Sacre Coeur.
Yeah, Sakura.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So that's where I got the Paris version of the mug.
Nice.
So yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And there's always fun color schemes on them, which I love.
I
So
agree. I mean, I could keep talking about mugs. How lame is that?
same.
But
No,
they're
I
stackable.
Disney
They
has
look
some really
cool.
cool mugs and
Yeah,
Starbucks. It's
yeah.
all cool. So
Yeah. Yeah. Anyways, wow, we just lost a lot of listeners there.
sidebar.
Yeah. So Disneyland, on their website, you can begin to make reservations starting on July 15th. So they have not said that the parks are going to be reopening, or when, but reservations are now available for July 15th. That does not mean that the parks are going to open July 15th, because Disneyland could cancel those or you'd be forced to modify. But it looks like if they're accepting reservations, that might just be a time frame that they're looking at.
Yeah, that's confusing to me. I'm surprised they're like announcing that before they're announcing when the park's opening. And
Yeah.
I'm honestly still surprised that they're opening Disney World before Disneyland, just because Disneyland is on such a smaller scale. And like I was like looking into coronavirus cases, and it is been like the cases and the deaths have been higher in California, but I don't know if that's per capita. And there's a lot of things and
Right.
logistics that I'm sure they're considering. But
And one thing,
yeah,
Florida has been at the forefront of like reopening. It's
yeah,
one of those states that is opening up quicker than other states, so that may
hmm
play into why they're opening up
that's
before
true.
Disneyland. But
Yeah,
so anyway, so if you were
and
looking at a Disneyland vacation, July 15th or later as of now, but don't take that as the parks are opening up July 15th.
right. Yeah,
So wait for
it's
that
definitely
official
everything's
announcement.
into the unknown. They should just be pumping that
Nice.
new Elsa song out because it's literally like the anthem for 2020.
That is true. Yes, yes. Yeah, I think we'll start to see normalcy in the parks in 2021. But as for
hmm
2020, be patient. If you are someone who's going to the parks, be patient with the cast members, the employees. They're doing the best that they can, and theme parks are trying to open up for guests, but in a safe manner. So,
Right.
um, and,
hmm
and as always, remember it's private property, so don't fight them
Right.
about wearing a mask.
Don't fight. Don't fight.
Right.
Yeah, that's a whole nother topic.
Yeah,
It's
we'll have a separate
crazy.
podcast. So anyway, I'll conclude quickly by just talking about Universal's reopening. So I've seen some footage that Universal opens to the public tomorrow, but all of the reopening phases or special guest annual pass holders who have been able to go the last couple of days, it looks like lines are long getting into the parks and parking. Got temperature screenings, but it looks like for the most part people are everything that I've seen, everyone is keeping their masks on while in the park.
That's good.
I think social distancing has been a little bit difficult in the parks, but I think people are excited and forgetting a little bit. There are markers on the ground and posters up, but it looks like Universal's reopening has been smooth. So hopefully that is an indicator that Walt Disney World reopening will be smooth as well. So.
Yeah, I think that physical distancing is going to be the hardest part. But I think as long as everyone keeps their mask on and there's enough hand sanitizer, I think that's a good, way to counterbalance that. I'm not a doctor, so I don't want to speak too much on that. But, we'll see. We'll see. We'll see.
That's true. So, all right. So, Lydia, anything else this week that you want to discuss?
Actually, I did see this really cool commercial. I'm not sure if you guys have seen this, of course, unless you've been living under a rock. There has been, protests going on for the Black Lives Matter movement, and Disney Channel actually released a really cool commercial in supporting the Black Lives Matter movement. And it's just really inspiring. It shows, young Black American children, and it's just them smiling and just talking about how Disney supports the cause and the movement. And I just think like you guys should go check it out because it's really cool. And it got me to think like, oh, like they came out with all the Pride merchandise. I wonder if Disney will come out with Black Lives Matter merchandise. I could easily see them doing that. It seems different. Like this time around, I really think there's going to be some change that happens. So not to get too political, but.
Yeah. So I have not seen the commercial, but maybe what we'll do is we'll put a link in the comments to that commercial.
It's really
I have
cool.
not seen it yet either. So
it was and they're putting it like on Disney Channel Junior, which I think is really awesome.
Yeah.
And it's really simple and elegant, and it just kind of brings people's attention to like, hey guys, we're in this and we get it, and we're here to support you guys. So I think it was really cool.
Cool. All right. Well, thanks for adding that to the discussion.
Yeah.
I'm going to check that out, and we'll link it to the show. So, So Lyd, thanks for joining on the show tonight. If you are listening audio on iTunes and you want to check out some of the graphics and the photos of the merchandise, head on over to our YouTube page at Disney Co. in the Know. And if you are on the go and just want to listen to the audio, check us out on iTunes at Disney Co. in the Know. So to stay up to date on all of the latest Disney and Universal news, follow us and like our page on Facebook at 407 and Beyond Vacation Company, and check out the blog from there at www.407vacations.com. So guys, thanks a lot for watching. Have a safe week. Hope everyone stays well, and we will see you with another edition, episode 17 of the podcast next Thursday night. So, Lyd, thanks again, and take care.
Yeah.
All right, bye.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Yeah, you too. Bye guys.